I could never have even driven a drive like that in a regular car because I get too tired driving. But I got to Portland and I thought, wow, I feel great. I could keep going to Seattle.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because it just takes the fatigue out of driving for me, right? It handles all that stuff, and then I can drive the fun parts, and then the car handles everything else. It's just ridiculous. So right now it's already set a course for driving home, but I'm not actually going home. So this is my drive home.
But
we can basically
from this parking lot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now it won't. I don't know if it'll take us out of the garage. We can try and see. It's a little bit. It's a little dicey until you get on the main roads, right? But basically, what happens is when you get in the car, it automatically decides, oh, you're going to work, you're going home. It synchronizes my calendar, so next Wednesday it will automatically have a path to my dentist.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Because it's just everything in Elon's world is like it should just do the right thing. The wipers are automatic. You know, the car locks when you leave it, and these are all great things until you drive another car. And many people who have Teslas, they rent a car on vacation and they leave the car running and unlocked when they leave the car. So you get used to all these things and then it gets kind of crazy. But I can end trip and then let me think of something.
Can we record the
Oh,
video?
sure. Yeah.
Thanks. This one.
そこをね押すと、上を押すと取れて、
一回押すだけでスタート。
I was trying to think of a place to go to.
多分これ3人いるし見えてる。
長押しの僕
今多分携帯
がなんか写真撮ってる気がするんだけどこれ。
本当？
あ、これか？
本当だ。
モードで変えたか。
なんか横にスライドすると動画モードとかある気がするかな。
あ、オッケー。
OK。
Drive to Costco. I think it's still waiting for people with seatbelts in the back.
Sorry.
I'll try that.
Thank you.
Drive to Costco. Oh, not available.
Okay.
I don't know why the command's not available. Maybe because I'm inside and the LTE is... Oh, it still has LTE coverage. I don't know why that's not available. So much for first demo.
So it works if you say like drive to home.
You can say drive to wherever.
Okay.
It's a Google Map search and stuff. So you can say drive to, navigate to, but now that I have FSD, instead of navigate to, I just say drive to. But I mean, right now I'm driving manually, so I didn't pick a destination anywhere. I can also pick one on the road, just by pointing to something on the map, and so now it's calculating a route. Let's see what it does. I don't actually know what it's going to do inside the parking lot. It's a little fast. Yeah, wait a minute. Well, that. Yeah, so it doesn't know. It has no idea where we are, right? So that's not a fair test. And I don't want to make things hard for those guys.
So actually we are going to try the Tesla day after tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're renting one?
Yeah.
In Phoenix?
On Turo or something?
Yes.
Yeah, Turo, yeah.
Okay.
Is it like, so yeah, we wanted to know if there's some like tips to avoid the danger of trying FSD.
Yeah, that's an interesting area. I used to rent my other cars on Turo, and I thought about that a lot with people renting these. I think it's a very, I mean, you guys know what you're getting into, but I think when regular people go and they rent a car, and then those are probably the ones that have the most trouble because they don't really know what to expect, and it's hard to know how much training they're going to get. But I think, you know, there's just so much to get used to. I'm not sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
How much you can sort of digest all at once. I mean, you have to get used to sort of, you know, shifting is like, this is reverse, and then you'll see the reverse come on. This is drive, and that's for going forward. And then I'll show you that you push down twice to activate the FSD. It's not hard. It's just that you have to really be able and willing to take over, and you don't really know what to expect. I grew into it by starting with the autopilot, and then they added the rest, right? So I was very comfortable with how the car works and what it does. But even here, like now that we have, you know, we're here. So I can still engage it here, but it thinks it's 25 miles an hour. So this wheel is my speed.
Okay.
So the beep beep was me hitting the brake. So anytime I hit the
Okay.
brake, it immediately disengages everything.
Yeah.
If I turn the wheel to override it, it'll disengage the steering, but not the speed.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you can tell because if you press on once,
Mhm.
oh, cruise control is not available. If I press down once, then autopilot speed limited due to poor visibility. I don't know what that's all about. I'm trying to see what changes visually with the speed control, and I see. So this turns blue when cruise
Okay.
control is on, and now it's managing speed,
Okay.
and I'm steering. And I used to do that a lot just going to school down the road because it was so nice not to have to worry about in stop and go traffic. It's very convenient. If I go twice, then, and this is a camera that comes up to confirm the turn, it's, go ahead. The other problem is that when you're waiting for it to be kind of wishy-washy, it can confuse other people too.
Ah, yeah.
So I will do this part. It's less important, I think, that I wouldn't focus on trying to be able to do a drive with no disengagements when you're still learning sort of how the system works.
Okay.
And I think I kind of gave up on that a long time ago. I did it this morning just because it was kind of interesting. But, you know, I'll often have to take over at one point or two during a drive just because I'm not comfortable with something that's happening.
Okay.
Either because it's going a little bit too slow or a little bit too unsure. It doesn't often do things that are just blatantly wrong anymore, but it can. So it's driving now. So it sees these people here.
Okay.
Right? You can see the preview screen, and this is the confidence view of what it sees. But now, when other people get close to me in the lane, I get a little nervous. I wish the car was more defensive because it knows how far that car was. Why does it wait and make me override to get away from somebody that is coming into my lane? I hope that comes in time because that's one of the places where I tend to take over a lot is when I'm not comfortable with other people that are getting too close.
Are you continuously using FSD for like a long time or maybe like several years?
FSD, I got it first in October 1.5 years ago, so October in 2021.
How rapidly is it like improving?
They send out updates every month or two.
Okay.
And my son is almost 18, and he didn't like it at first. It was very jerky and swervy, and you know, he's like, I really don't like the FSD. But he recently told me, he says, I noticed it's gotten a lot better. He says, I feels a lot better now. So it's turning here only because I picked an arbitrary place on the map.
Okay.
So it slowed down and signaled it turned. I don't know where it's going. It's going to turn into here.
YouTube.
おお
So that just happens to be where I ended it when I pointed someplace random on the map.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So let me see if I can pick another place that is maybe a little bit more interesting. So the other thing is, the last time I gave a demo over here to somebody, I actually didn't even give it a route. We just actually started in like this neighborhood, and I let it drive.
Okay.
Because if you enable it and it doesn't have a destination, it just kind of makes a decision every time it comes to an intersection, and it'll generally just drive and do the right thing, but it doesn't have a goal.
Okay.
So, you know, it will just drive like that without having a target in mind. But what I want to do is maybe pick some place.
It's like a random drive mode.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, there's used to be a thing called Ouija board, which you I called it like Ouija card. But anyways, let's pick something. I don't know. Let's pick something like over here, maybe. Oh, yeah, okay. So I have a destination. Let's navigate to there. That's not very exciting. I don't know anything about what's over in these areas.
動画って撮ってるね。またラベルのデータどう撮るわ。
おっす。ここ見えてるか。お
Okay. Sure. Okay. Oops. So now it has 8 cameras all around, right? There's 3 facing forward with different focal lengths. There's 1 in the back, and there's 2 on the sides. 2 on the pillars that point forward, and 2 in the front that point back. So the ones in the front that point back are the ones that you see echoed up here when we make a turn. But even with all those cameras, I think it still has a little trouble seeing up and around to the left in the front, right? Because the front camera points back, and this camera here points forward, but if it's blocked, then it's very nervous about making a left turn because it has to basically tell you it's creeping forward for better visibility.
I see.
So I feel like the poor engineers who had to make all this work would probably go, man, if we could go back and redo where we put the cameras or add more, or put LiDAR in or something, you know, they would probably do things different. Now, if it notices that I'm not paying attention, it'll beep and tell me to pay attention. And if it doesn't feel torque on the wheel periodically, it'll flash blue up here, telling me that it wants to feel my hands on the wheel. So I don't have to hold it, but I have to provide some kind of torque periodically, or it gets unhappy. And if you do that too often, where you don't respond to that, then it will actually disable and you end up in what's called autopilot jail, or they disable it for the rest of your drive.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and if you get, I think, 3 or 5 strikes on that, then they actually turn off FSD beta and they don't let you use it. So it's flashing blue, and it's saying apply a slight turning. So now it's paused, waiting for our turn, but that was no big deal. There's a left turn up here. Yeah, we have a left turn up here.
I heard that.
And also I can.
I heard that there's a button when you disengage, you put the button for reporting to the Tesla.
There's a bug. You can do something called bug report. You can press this and say bug report, and that was a long time ago. It used to capture information and file it, but we don't believe that they do anything with that anymore.
Oh, really?
I don't think it does anything. Now, one of the things that Elon did say was that any driver input is treated as negative feedback. So if I have to take over or push a pedal, like I can push a pedal to go when it's taking too long, and that's not a disengagement. That's just a saying that I'm confident that it's okay to go. And if I have to do that, or if I hit the brake or turn the wheel, anything that I do like that is considered negative reinforcement, and that's supposed to feed back into their training.
I see. So you don't have to do the bug report anymore?
I don't have to do that. Yeah, I think they just parse all of the data they're getting, because they've got 300,000 cars that are this. So I'm sure it's a huge pile of data that they have to get. Oh, nice fire truck. Looks like a box truck on here. The semi. Oh. But if the lights are flashing, it'll actually recognize the flashing lights, and it will slow down and say emergency vehicle detected. That's also new.
Also detects the blinker?
Of other cars?
Yeah.
It sees it on screen. I don't know if it does anything with that information.
I see, At least it detects the blinker.
Yeah. You can see that it actually shows you the brake lights on other cars.
Oh, brake lights.
So in the visualization, it'll show you. There's somebody walking. So now we're making a left turn, and it sees there's a car there.
I'm not used to the US road rules, but it's not a good thing, right? For that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was okay.
Oh, this can happen pretty well.
This part it has trouble with, so it does not know that there's a bump there.
Oh, I see.
So it can be very jerky because it doesn't slow down to compensate like I would. My son, when I go to pick up my son, it's kind of like that. There's a bump in front of his house, and if it's driving, it always kind of takes that a little faster. And speed bumps also, they don't recognize and slow down for speed bumps for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think they used to. This is damage from the wind that we had yesterday or day before. It was super windy.
Oh,
damage.
Yeah, the fence knocked down. Okay, so I think it's done just because that was where I gave it as a destination.
Yeah, this was very wonderful ride.
So I'll pull over somewhere. If they're still behind us, then we can.
すごいっすね。
ね、
すごい。
すごい。
ついた。
Yeah, it was so nice to ride on this Tesla.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank
Sure.
you very much.
I think the rest of four of us would
Okay.
come here. Yeah.
これはそのまま一回使って次の人たちにも渡しますか。
ね、わかんない。